I started working in the fall of my sophomore year in college in a very sensible way. A part-time job at a coffee shop near campus. Morning shifts 3 days a week, afternoon shifts 2 days. Not high pay, but enough so I didn't have to call my parents for money every time books or rent went up. Noah called it adulthood demo mode. I laughed, but deep down I thought, maybe this is when I start living a life that seems okay. My mornings changed. I woke up earlier, put on the light brown uniform shirt, tied the apron, learned how to brew coffee without my hands shaking. The shop played light indie music, the smell of espresso mixed with baked goods creating a very adult feeling. I liked having a place to go, a clear role. Fletcher, the barista. Not Fletcher, the gay guy trying to find his place. Noah often stopped by the shop after class. He'd sit at the table by the window, laptop open, headphones on loosely, eyes occasionally glancing toward the counter. Every time our eyes met, Noah smiled faintly, as if saying, "I see you." There were days I was so tired I just wanted to collapse. Noah would bring me a glass of water, place it in front of me. "You okay?" he'd ask. "Fine," I'd say out of habit. Noah would raise an eyebrow. "That doesn't count."
Ide exhala.
"Tired. But the good kind of tired." Noah nodded. "Tired from living." It sounded cheesy, but it was true. Evenings, we'd return to the shared apartment with 2 other roommates. Small place, thin walls, kitchen always smelling of mixed food. Noah and I learned to exist in that space, not too intimate in front of others, but not completely hiding either. There were times I felt like I was walking a tightrope, not falling, but not really standing firm yet. Noah started an unpaid internship at a small media company in the city. He was excited but also exhausted. Some nights Noah came home late, tossed his backpack on the floor, slumped onto the sofa. "I didn't think I'd be this tired," he'd say, voice hoarse. I'd sit next to him, hand him a bottle of water. "Welcome to the adult world." Noah laughed, leaned his head on my shoulder. "If this is adulthood, I miss high school." But then he'd go quiet, and I'd know that's when the fatigue wasn't a joke anymore. We started having less time for each other. Not because the love was gone, but because life got in the way. My shifts, Noah's internship schedule, assignments, projects. Dates turned into rush dinners, quick hugs before sleep. I told myself this is normal. This is a life that seems okay. But some nights, lying next to Noah, I felt a very thin distance. Not between our bodies, but between the things we weren't saying. One night, Noah lay with his back to me. I knew he wasn't asleep. "What are you thinking?" I asked. Noah was silent for a moment. Then he said, "I'm scared." I turned over, placed my hand on his back. "Scared of what?" "Scared that we're getting so busy we forget why we started," Noah said slowly. "Scared that everything becomes too okay, to the point no one asks anymore." That statement chilled me. "I haven't forgotten," I said. "I'm just learning how to survive." Noah turned to look at me. His eyes weren't accusing, just tired. "I know," he said. "Me too." We lay there silent. No arguing. But nothing resolved either. The days after, I tried harder. Texted Noah during shifts. Waited up for him even when sleepy. Kissed him a little longer before leaving. Noah noticed. He squeezed my hand, as if to say thanks. But the pressure was still there. A quiet kind of pressure, not explosive, just silently building. One afternoon, after my shift, I got a message from my mom. "Are you okay? You sound tired lately." I stared at the screen for a long time. Was I okay? I had a job, a boyfriend, a life that from the outside, anyone would say it's fine. But fine doesn't mean not scared. That night, Noah and I sat on the kitchen floor, eating instant noodles because we were too tired to cook. Noah leaned against the fridge. I leaned against him. "Do you ever think?" I started, then stopped. "No," Noah asked. "That we're growing up faster than we can handle?" I said. Noah chuckled softly. "I think that every day." I turned to look at him. "Then why do you stay?" Noah didn't answer right away. He lowered his head, forehead touching mine. Because I want to grow up with you, Noah said. Not alone. That statement made my heart tighten. Not in pain, but heavily. I realized, youth starting work isn't just about earning money or packed schedules. It's when you start understanding that love doesn't live in voids. It has to learn to exist amid fatigue, fear, and days that are just barely okay. And I didn't know if I was ready for all that yet. But I knew one thing. I didn't want to learn how to grow up without Noah there. I started noticing Noah's changes not through what he said, but through what he stopped saying. Noah talked less about his internship, complained less, joked less when coming home late. He still hugged me when sleeping, still texted home safe every night, but something felt like he was keeping the worst fatigue to himself. I wasn't much better. The coffee shop was short-staffed. I took extra shifts. My hands always smelled of hot milk and lightly burnt coffee. Some days standing and brewing for 4 hours straight, I felt like I was running on autopilot more than consciousness. We started living next to each other more than with each other. One Wednesday night, Noah came home later than usual. I was sitting on the bed, laptop open, but my mind blank. Have you eaten? I asked. Noah shook his head. No. Want me to heat something up for you? Nah, he said. I'm not hungry. I looked at him. Noah kicked off his shoes, sat in the chair, covered his face with his hands for a few seconds. A quick gesture, but enough for me to see. Noah, I called softly. He looked up. What? You're really tired. Noah smiled. A smile where his eyes didn't join in, like pretending. Who isn't tired? That answer silenced me, because it was true, and because I didn't know what to say next. That weekend, our schedules didn't overlap. I had morning shift. Noah had to go to the office on Saturday. Sunday, I slept until noon, while Noah had an online meeting. We were in the same apartment, but like two parallel lines. Sunday evening, Noah knocked on my door. You free to talk a bit? He asked. Noah's voice was calm enough to worry me. I nodded. Yeah. We sat facing each other on the bed. Not touching. Not like usual. I don't want us to become a couple that just updates schedules for each other, Noah said. I don't want every day to pass with us only asking, are you tired today? I swallowed hard. I don't want that either. But I feel like we are, Noah continued. And I don't know if it's because of life or because we don't have enough strength to hold on to each other anymore. That statement tightened my chest. You think we're letting go of each other? I asked. Noah shook his head immediately. No. I think we're trying too hard to look okay. Silence fell between us. An adult kind of silence, not angry but full of questions. I'm scared, I said after a while. Scared that if I stop, everything will collapse. Noah looked at me for a long time. And I'm scared that if we keep going like this, we'll lose each other without realizing. For the first time in a long while, I felt like I was standing at a real crossroads. Not break up or stay, but how to stay. I don't want to lose you, I said. My voice shook. But I also don't know how to survive and love properly at the same time. Noah exhaled. I don't need you to be good at it. I just need you to be here for real. That night, we didn't resolve everything. But we decided on one small thing. Every week, no matter how busy, we'd have one evening just for us. No laptops. No phones. No talking about work. Like a date, I asked. Noah smiled faintly, like remembering why we chose each other. The first evening of that agreement was very simple. We cooked together, a terrible pasta because I added too much salt. Noah teased, but ate it all. After, we lay on the living room floor, listening to old music, the kind Noah used to play when we first met. Do you remember the first time we held hands on campus? Noah asked. Yeah, I replied. I thought my heart would jump out. Noah turned to look at me. What about now? I thought for a moment. Now my heart doesn't run, but it's in the right place. Noah smiled. Then he pulled me close, hugged me tight. In that embrace, I realized something important. Love doesn't disappear when it becomes less dramatic. It's just requiring a different skill, the skill to stay when it's no longer new. But life didn't give us much time to enjoy that peace. An email arrived on Monday morning from the company where Noah interned. They offered Noah a full-time job after graduation in another city, nearly 6 hours drive from this campus. Noah read that email 3 times before showing it to me. I took the phone, heart pounding. This wasn't an imaginary problem anymore. This was the future. Choices. Something that couldn't be postponed with "we'll figure it out later." Noah looked at me. His eyes were both hopeful and scared. And I knew youth starting work, a life that seems okay, was about to demand a price with a question bigger than all the previous ones. Is this love strong enough to go beyond the familiar? That email sat between us all morning. Noah didn't bring it up again. Neither did I. We still did the familiar things: brush teeth, brewed coffee, check schedules. But everything felt like it was happening under a thin layer of glass. Visible, but untouchable. By noon, I couldn't take it anymore. "What do you think?" I asked, as we sat on the bus heading to campus. Noah looked out the window where trees passed by slowly. "I don't know yet," he said honestly. "I never thought things would come this soon." "Me neither," I replied. "But, do you want to go?" Noah turned to look at me. His eyes were very serious. "Yes, I don't want to lie to you." That answer didn't surprise me, but it still hurt in a very quiet way. "But I also don't want to lose you," Noah continued. "And I don't know if those two can coexist." We were silent for the rest of the ride. The days after, the topic hung over us like a cloud that hadn't rained yet. No one wanted to touch it, afraid that one more word would shift things irreversibly. I started wondering, what was I more afraid of? Afraid of Noah going far, or afraid of admitting that this love wasn't enough to keep him here? One evening, I came home from work later than usual. Noah was sitting at the dining table in front of a stack of printed papers: internship contract, job roadmap, info on the new city. "You researched thoroughly," I said, trying to smile. Noah looked up. "I need to know what I'm choosing." I sat down across from him. "And have you chosen?" Noah shook his head. "Not yet. But I know one thing I don't want to choose, is acting like you don't exist." That statement choked me up. "I don't want to be the reason you miss out on opportunities," I said. "If you stay because of me, and later regret it." Noah interrupted me. "Fletch, I don't need you to sacrifice for me. But I also don't need you to back out for me." I looked at him. "So what do we do?" Noah sighed, leaned back in the chair. "I don't know. And I hate not knowing." For the first time since we fell in love, we argued. Not loudly, but each word carried fatigue pent up too long. "You always think ahead for others," Noah said. "But do you ever ask what I want you to do?" "I am asking," I replied, voice trembling. "I'm just afraid if I hold you back, you'll blame me." Noah stood up, paced the room a few times. "I don't need you to hold me back. I need you to say you want me to stay." That statement hit my weakest spot. I'd learned not to disappear, but I hadn't fully learned how to demand. "I do," I said, very softly. "I want you to stay, but I don't want to be the anchor dragging you down." Noah turned back, stood in front of me. "I can't fly if I don't know where I'm flying to." We stood very close. Close enough I could hear his breathing, faster than normal. That night, we didn't sleep next to each other. Not because we were angry, but because we both needed space to breathe. I lay alone, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything I'd overcome to have this love. I'd learned to speak up, learned to stay. But now, love was asking me a harder question. Do you dare to hold on? The next morning, I texted Noah, "Talk more tonight? I don't want to hide." Noah replied quickly, "Me neither." That evening, we went to the riverbank near the city. It was cold, strong wind. Noah stood next to me, hands in his coat pockets. "I've thought a lot," Noah said. "If I go, I want us to try long distance. Not because I'm sure, but because I don't want to give up before trying." My heart pounded. "And if it doesn't work? Then at least we were honest," Noah replied. "I don't want to wonder later. What if we'd been braver that day?" "I'm scared," I said. But I don't want fear to decide anymore. Noah turned to me, his eyes lighting up. Not with joy, but with being seen. I know long distance will be hard, I continued. But if you go, I want us to go together. Not pretending to be strong, but really trying. Noah said nothing. He just pulled me into a tight hug. Freezing cold, but warm enough I had to close my eyes. In that moment I understood. Growing up isn't choosing the path with less pain. It's choosing the path that leaves no regrets for not trying. And though that choice didn't have an outcome yet, I knew I'd taken another step. Not just in love, but in becoming myself. Noah accepted the offer on a very ordinary morning. No fireworks. No background music. Just a short email, a nod at the laptop screen, and a long sigh as if he just jumped off the pool edge without knowing how cold the water was. I said yes. Noah told me that evening. I was standing in the kitchen holding a glass of water. Hearing that, I didn't turn around right away. Not because I didn't want to look at Noah, but because I needed a few seconds to keep my voice steady. Congrats, I said, and this time I turned for real. Really? Noah stepped forward, hugged me from behind, his chin on my shoulder, a small habit I'd grown so used to that sometimes I forgot how precious it was.
I'm scared, Noah whispered.
But I'm also excited. I know, I replied. Those two can coexist. The weeks after passed terrifyingly fast. Between final exams, shifts, and moving plans, time felt compressed. Every ordinary moment suddenly carried a different weight. We started counting down with small things. 3 weeks until the last grocery run together. 2 weeks until the last time Noah makes me morning coffee. 1 week until the last time I wait up for him late without a video call. Noah packed neatly. I hesitated. There were things I didn't know whether to box or keep. His hoodie, old movie tickets, a chipped ceramic mug. You don't need to keep everything, Noah said, seeing me sitting amid the stuff, holding his old shirt. I know, I replied, but I need time. Noah didn't rush me. He sat down next to me, shoulder to shoulder. Long distance isn't pausing love, Noah said. It's just changing how we love. I nodded. I believed him, but believing didn't mean not being scared. The last night before Noah left, we didn't do anything special. No farewell party.
No dramatic promises.
Just the two of us lying next to each other. Lights off, window cracked for the night breeze. Do you think we'll be different? I asked. Noah turned to look at me in the dark. Yes, he said. But different doesn't mean worse. I held Noah's hand. If there are times I go silent too long, then I'll call, Noah said immediately. And if I disappear, then I'll pull you back, I replied. We laughed softly. The kind of laugh for two people who understood promises didn't need to be grand. The next morning, I took Noah to the airport. The terminal was crowded, noisy, and brighter than I imagined. I hated that. Hated how the world kept going normally while my heart was stretched thin. Noah hugged me long, said nothing. I felt his heartbeat, fast and real. Text me when you land, I said. Always, Noah replied. When Noah turned to go, I didn't call him back. Not because I was strong, but because I knew some moments, letting the one you love go is an act of trust. The first days of long distance were harder than I imagined. Work schedules, evenings coming back to an empty apartment, cooking for one, unconsciously setting 2 plates on the table. We video called almost every day. Some days just 5 minutes. Some days silent, watching each other eat dinner. You tired? I asked. Yeah, Noah replied. But seeing you makes it better. Me too. Some calls ended in laughs. Some in silence. But we didn't disappear from each other. One night, after a long day, I found myself telling Noah about a small thing. A picky customer at the coffee shop, and Noah was listening intently. Don't you find it funny? I said. These little stories. Noah shook his head. No. That's your life, and I want to be in it. That statement choked me up. I realized long distance isn't absence. It's chosen presence, repeated every day. Youth starting work, a life that seems okay, didn't give us much romance. But it taught me something important. Staying isn't always being side by side. Sometimes, staying is not giving up even when distance tests everything you have. The time after Noah left didn't pass in a straight line. Some days it raced. Busy enough I forgot I was missing him. And some days it dragged cruelly, when a small detail was enough to tighten my heart. The empty chair at the table. The hook without the familiar gray hoodie. The habit of turning left when waking up. I graduated at the end of spring. The ceremony under a pale blue sky, mild sun, just enough wind. My family came. Noah didn't. He couldn't get time off. I said it was fine. And I really thought so, until I looked around and realized there was one person I wanted to find in the crowd. After the ceremony, I video called Noah. He was at the office, behind a tall glass window, the unfamiliar city stretching out. "Congrats," Noah said, raising his coffee cup. "I wish I was there." "I know," I replied, "but you're where you need to be." Noah was silent for a few seconds. "What about you?" I looked at the screen, at that familiar face now fitting in the palm of my hand. "I'm searching," I said honestly, "but I don't feel lost anymore." After graduation, I took a full-time job at the coffee shop shift manager. Not a dream job, but stable, regular schedule, enough money for rent, food, living, a life that seems okay. Some evenings, after work, I'd sit alone in the apartment, open my laptop, apply for jobs in my field. Sometimes got interviews, sometimes rejected. I learned not to let each email define my worth. Noah and I didn't video call every day anymore. Not because of distance, but because we started trusting each other more. Some days just texts. "Long day. Yeah. Hug you." And that was enough. One early fall evening, Noah called me earlier than usual. "I have something to say," he told me. My heart raced. Not from fear but intuition. "I got offered a transfer to the branch near the old campus," Noah said. "Not right away. About 6 months from now." I said nothing for a few seconds. "Not because of you," Noah said quickly. "At least, not just because of you. I want to be in a place where I can breathe." I swallowed. "And us?" Noah looked straight into the camera. "I want us to try living in the same city again. Not as students, but as two people building a real life." I smiled, both tired and relieved. "I can't promise it'll be easy," I said. Noah smiled back. "I don't need easy. I need real." 6 months later, Noah came back. Not in a grand reunion scene. Just me standing at the train station, holding a to-go coffee, and seeing him step off. Taller a bit, thinner a bit, but eyes the same. We hugged long, amid the rushing crowd, not caring who saw. "We're really old now," I said softly. Noah laughed. "Older, not old." We moved into a new apartment. Smaller, more expensive, but for two adults, each with their own schedules, own fatigues. Some evenings we ate dinner at 10. Some mornings just a quick kiss before rushing to work. Some arguments over very real things, money, time, silence. But one thing was different. We didn't disappear. One evening, while washing dishes, Noah said, "Do you think we're okay?" I thought for a moment. Okay in an imperfect way, but real. Noah set down the plate, wrapped his arms around my waist from behind. "I like that kind of okay." I leaned my head on his shoulder, hearing the water run, hearing the familiar breathing. Youth starting work. A life that seems okay. No longer the sparkling dream like college days. No longer love like diving into fire, but a love that knows how to wait, how to fix, how to stay, even when things aren't easy anymore. And in all the adult choices I've made, one thing I'm sure of, in a world that always demands I be strong, Noah is the place where I'm allowed to be tired.